Welcome back to season 2 of the Katie Wellness Show. I am back with more amazing tools, awesome interviews, and some great discussions to help you optimize your health, body, mind, and spirit. Not only can you use these tools every day, you can also teach them to your children and to your family members so that you can raise emotionally and physically resilient children, so that you can show up more in your life, that you can take back your personal power. Get ready to tap into your intuition. I'm so excited that you're here. You are worthy of health and of joy and of thriving in your motherhood, thriving in your life. Thank you for being here today. Hi, welcome back to the Katie Wellness Show. I am your host, Lindsey Katie. I have struggled a little bit with recording this podcast because I never want to give the impression that I am an expert on every single one of these topics that I talk about. And while I may not be an expert on cancer specifically, I do know the things that it takes to create the best healing environment for the body. And this, to me, is a topic that is very near and dear to my heart. A friend came to me recently and said, I have cancer, I've done chemo, I need some natural things that can help me battle this. And I also watched cancer take my grandma. And if there is anything that I could have done to ease her suffering, knowing what I know now, I feel like it's my responsibility to share this information. So I'm going to start with this preface. I am not a doctor. And it is your responsibility, your privilege to be able to do your own research, to choose someone that you feel confident and comfortable working with as you go through your cancer journey. And it is so important that you rely on your own intuition. What feels right for you? What feels right for your body? And doing those things that come to you, whether through your intuition, call it the Holy Ghost, call it a higher being, whatever you call it, rely on that, whether it's thoughts that continually come to your mind of things that you need to try. So here's how I like to describe what cancer is, or how it grows in the body. It starts with free radicals in the body. Before cancer has even started to develop, we get free radicals in our body from exposure to different toxins and different things in our body that are foreign. And in my brain, or how I describe it, how I see it is these free radicals act as little Tasmanian devils in your body, and they are wreaking havoc. They are bouncing off of your cells, damaging them. As the cells reproduce, they are being copied from these damaged cells. Eventually, you run out of healthy cells to replicate, so it's just copying these damaged cells. This is how cancer can grow so rapidly and spread so quickly. And it is my opinion that chemotherapy wipes out all bacteria, good and bad, wipes out all good and bad cells, basically like kills everything off. But what is being done to provide new healthy cells that can be replicated in order to overcome the cancer, or in order to become cancer-free? What I'm going to talk about in today's episode is those things that you can be doing to either prevent, or if you yourself are going through a cancer journey, do the own research, but what sticks out to you? What can you be doing to provide the environment in your own body? What feels good to your intuition? What, after working with a professional, what is best for you in your current situation and the type of cancer that you have? What can you be doing to provide the best environment for those healthy cells to grow and copy and replicate, instead of those damaged ones that have been beaten up and destroyed by these Tasmanian devils? Very first thing is we have to reduce the amount of Tasmanian devils, the amount of free radicals that are being put into our body. And toxicity is something that we get in all aspects and all areas of our lives, but there are things that we can do to decrease that toxic load on our bodies. Our bodies have 4 main detox pathways. And these are some of the things that you can be doing in each of those areas. So the 4 areas are sweat, breath, stool, and urine. So in those 4 pathways, if we are going to make sure that our sweat detox pathways are open, we can do infrared sauna. Movement, whether that's exercise, walking, yoga, and Epsom salt baths. If those are too intense or too much for you, Epsom salt baths, get it warm to where you are dripping. You want that sweat to help cleanse your body, to get out of your body. Second pathway is breath. So using your lungs to help fill your body with oxygen. And cancer cells cannot thrive in an oxygenated state, in an oxygenated environment. So you can do things like ozone. One thing I love about ozone is 3 oxygen molecules combined together, which is very unstable. Oxygen likes to be in pairs. And when you have that third oxygen molecule, it will bind to the free radicals and help eliminate them from your body. Salt caves can also help the breath. The salt is very cleansing, purifying, acts kind of as an antibiotic. So salt caves are popping up. They are very popular, and this is one of the benefits. I've also seen salt misters, especially in saunas. But if you live near the ocean air, that salty ocean air can also help cleanse the lungs, the breathing. Another way to help oxygenate the body is ozone IV, to add that extra oxygen in the body. And this is something that I do when I go to Mexico almost every single time, that helps me to feel energized, that helps to purify my blood. Even though cancer is not something that I deal with specifically, as someone who has a borderline autoimmune disorder, and I have been able to use many of these techniques, the detoxes and nutritional deficiencies through food and supplements, some of these things that I'll talk about today, to help heal my body so that I'm not in a constant flare-up, that I'm not constantly battling my body. These are things that get your body in a state of healing. So we're making sure our pathways are open through sweating, through breath, and through our stool. Ozone insufflation. So this is putting ozone in through your rectum and inflating your colon. This helps, especially if you have food allergies, food sensitivities, if you have leaky gut. This is a great thing for that. And especially if you've been through chemotherapy, your body is going to need a little extra tender loving care to just repair. Coffee enemas can help flush the stool system. Colon hydrotherapies, that one is definitely more, a little bit more aggressive, but it flushes the whole colon several times within one sitting. So it's about like an hour process. This is one that you would have to work on with a qualified professional and make sure that you and your doctor feel good about moving forward with this therapy, because there can be some dangers there. So I'm just gonna put that out there. Again, use your intuition and work with a professional. Also, daily bowel movements need to be happening. You may need to take a magnesium supplement to help with that. And castor oil packs can also help with the inflammation. If you have like a tumor, like a solid tumor that is growing, that is cancerous, or if you have it in large areas of your body, it can help to bring down the inflammation in that area. And the last pathway is through urine. So be sure that you're drinking filtered water, not out of plastic. use glass if possible, filtered water, alkaline water, reverse osmosis. You want to do whatever you can to avoid chlorine and fluoride, heavy metals. Another way to add extra oxygen into your body is by drinking hydrogen water. You can add fresh pressed juices, bone broth. If you are working on flushing out, especially if you have done chemo and you want to get rid of all those dead cells, these pathways need to be open and you need to take extra care to be flushing. I would recommend at least half your body weight in ounces of those liquids that I listed above. So filtered water or reverse osmosis water or hydrogen water, fresh pressed juice, bone broth. It would even be better if you did your full body weight in ounces of liquids as you're flushing these. Now, while we're talking about detox pathways, we also need to be aware of the products that we are taking in that are adding more toxicity to our bodies. So I would recommend going organic as much as possible. Cleaning up your beauty supplies and your cleaners, and if you're using wallflowers, throw those things out, like fragrances, synthetic, anything synthetic your body doesn't recognize. And that is something that adds to the free radicals that are in your body. So the goal is to reduce the number of toxins you're exposing yourself to as much as possible and getting rid of what's already in your body through those 4 pathways that I just talked about. Another area to consider as you are creating this environment for healing is, what nutritional deficiencies do you have? And are you meeting those deficiencies through whole nutrient-dense foods? Drinking bone broth, fresh juices with lots of dark colored vegetables like kale and beets, using herbs like mint and cilantro. If you are on this journey, any journey where you are trying to create an environment in your body for healing, I highly, highly recommend getting a hair scan to see your body's deficiencies and systems within your body that are being most affected. And this is a service that I do offer. There are links below to schedule your appointment. I do them virtually. I send you the kit. You collect the sample. You mail the kit. It's all encompassing in the fee, in the service fee. And then we meet over Zoom and we go over the results, and I make recommendations and I get your input, and we work through a protocol together, working on nutritional deficiencies and which supplements would be best for you. So this is the third area that I want to talk about. You cannot out-supplement a bad diet or bad habits, but knowing your body's deficiencies can help you know which supplements specifically you need. Every body is different. The way we handle stress, the way we digest and absorb nutrients from our food, the way that we, like our sleeping habits and the beliefs and the emotional energy that we have, every single person is different. So there is no one size fits all supplement for people on any healing journey, whether it's from an autoimmune disease or cancer or a weight loss journey. There is no one size fits all supplement for everyone, because we all have different eating habits. We all have different emotional responses and triggers and things that affect our bodies differently. So there is no one size fits all. And if someone tells you there is, you may want to reconsider their words and what they're trying to sell to you, right? What's their reason for saying you need to have this supplement? Is it because they get a kickback from it? Like, just be aware, if anyone says there's a one size fits all for every person, I don't know that I would trust that. All right. And the last thing I want to talk about today is emotions, our emotional body, and how we can help create an environment of healing emotionally. Fear, contempt, feeling out of control, those are all low frequency emotions. And on any type of healing journey, whether it's cancer, autoimmune, even a weight loss journey, there are lots of what ifs, especially cancer. There's a lot of what ifs when it comes to cancer. What if I don't get to see my kids graduate from school? What if I never get married? What if I never get to meet my grandkids? What if I don't survive this year? What if, right? There's a lot of what ifs, and it can feel very big, very overwhelming, very rooted in fear. Finding ways to shift out of fear and into peace, acceptance, joy, love, trust in God's plan, we change the frequency at which our bodies operate. And the higher the frequency, the greater the chance of recovery. Again, it's like our cells are alive when we're operating from that higher frequency, when we're operating from love and joy and trust. It's kind of like, have you ever been around someone who is really stressed and they just put off kind of a yucky energy? Like you just want to shake it off, or you just want to leave. You don't want to be around that person. That is an area where those cancer cells are thriving. So if we can get into the love and joy and trust, into this higher frequency, we allow our bodies to shift into healing mode. Okay, so there are a lot of resources out there. How do you know which ones you can trust? How do you know even if you can trust what I'm saying? I am presenting information to you, and it is your job as a consumer, as a human being who is in charge of their own health, to do your own research and reach out if you have questions. I may not know all the answers. Actually, I'm going to say I don't know all the answers, but I'm willing to do the research. But also, this is your journey. So do the research for yourself. Read everything that you can. Preferably if you can do research articles, what has actually been researched. And even then, you'll find things on both ends of the spectrum. So do your own research. And the most important piece is to rely on your own intuition. What does your body need? What are you feeling like is the best next step? Start there. That is my biggest recommendation. Our bodies are so amazing, and they know exactly what we need to heal. Sometimes we just have to know that there are options available. So today's episode really is showing you that there are lots of options out there. There are lots of alternative therapies that can work together with chemotherapy and can work without chemotherapy. And it is up to you to rely on your intuition, do your own research, and do the work, do the thing. Drink the juice, drink the bone broth, drink avoid the toxins, drink the fresh, filtered, purified, reverse osmosis water, right? Getting the nutrients that you need from your food, from fresh pressed juices. Like, it's your job to do the work. No one can do that for you. Hopefully this episode today was really more empowering than it was heavy and depressing. Knowing that you do have a lot more control than you think you do can help to shift that feeling of fear and feeling out of control into, okay, I can do this. There are things that I can do. And if you are really, really stuck in the fear and the overwhelm and you need help, emotional processing is such an amazing tool that I love. I love this tool. It is a way to change your beliefs and shift your brain out of that fear, that overwhelm, that, resentment. Like, why do I have this and no one else does, right? It can shift you out of thinking that your life is the worst and what if, into, okay, I can see a path to healing, or I can see the reason why I'm struggling with this. It just is such a subtle shift that helps your brain to see a new way. Emotional processing is a service that I offer. It is 2 hours one-on-one with me. We do so many different techniques to help your brain see a new way and create new neural pathways in your brain. Create a new way, create a new belief, and let go of the old. Let go of what's no longer serving you. It's such an amazing resource that I seriously think everyone needs to try it at least one time, just so they can see the shift and know that change is possible from these beliefs that we've been telling ourselves since we were little kids. I love that there are resources out there for us as we're creating these environments of healing for ourselves, for our families, and hopefully you learned at least one new thing from today's episode, learning one new thing that you can do to help create an environment of healing, no matter what health challenges you're dealing with right now. I love you and I want the best for you and I'm rooting for you, and I will talk to you next week.